It's me and Dr. V. Dr. V's giving me trouble about the thumbnail. I'm lazy. I'm trying to brand. I've been trying to explain to him. It's called Me and Dr. V. Sometimes you got to do some branding when we go on there. How's everybody doing, Dr. V? How you doing?
Doing fine. Doing good.
You ready for another opinion show where we take the facts and we come up with opinions and tell people what we think?
Absolutely.
Are you prepared to tell people about how you took my trust and flushed it down the toilet?
Would I have 4 paragraphs again today?
Yeah, 4 paragraphs. Are you prepared to let people know how you took my trust 55 years ago and flushed it down the toilet? 55, you scarred me. You scarred me. Before we get
it was redacted to protect the innocent.
What?
I just had to redact it to protect the victim.
History, it's just the same. It just keeps rolling. 50, this is no the Nixon. You treated me so poorly. I can trust you, my PB, right? Yeah, you can trust me. You can trust me. You can trust me to screw you the way Lewis did. Okay. Here we go. Sorry, we got people going. Hello. We're going to start talking right away. Master of Puppets. When I call it Master of Puppets, I do it because I've been in my rock head recently. Great song by Metallica. But Master of Puppets is Donald Trump the Master of Puppets? His cultists, are they just the puppets? The numbers have been coming in. His opinion polls have been horrible. But let's look at the State of the Union. I have to be up front. I passed out during the State of the Union. I watched it for a while and I passed out, woke back up, saw the end, and then saw the greatest hits on the different stations to see what was going on. I look at this, it's no different than what he's ever been, Joe. And I don't know where they're going with this. He says, everything's great. It's the greatest it's ever been in all time in history, our economy. It's the greatest. It's like I'm a broken record. We talk this twice a week, Joe. And we repeat after him. It's the greatest economy of all time. It's the greatest economy of all time. But people don't see it that way. They walk in, they buy things, they do things. They go, I can't afford it. And what he's not talking about is all these people, the K economy. I'm tired of that word K. The K economy just means there's a line. People are either making money or they ain't making money. And the people under that line, what is it, 150,000, 140,000, something like that, with families are really getting handled. They can't make payments. Now we're talking about insurance. Have you heard any health insurance? Have you heard anybody in Congress talk about insurance since the shutdown months ago? But we know a lot of people have lost their medical insurance, Joe. We know that for a fact. Where's that money coming from? We know that food is still going up in price. We know that there's not enough energy. And we know we have a president who's taken the solar energy producing power plants and shutting them down and trying to open up coal so we can have more black lung disease for everybody. But we need energy. He's doing that. So he's saying to all these AI companies, go out and build your own energy generating groups. You see this around the country, but nobody in the States are going to be able to use it. It's going to be for them. So now we're building up AI. We're giving it to the super wealth. We're saying now go ahead with all this money. You can deduct the first year, all your investments, just deduct it out, build all these energy platforms, and you can control everything. You have your own energy. You got the AI. You're making the money. And what are regular people doing? They're getting smashed. Where is this in the State of the Union? What's going to go on with people's jobs, Joe? Finally, I've been yelling. You know that I've been saying if AI is going to take all these jobs, what are these companies going to do to make sure that they get people prepared for the new jobs? So instead of what happened in West Virginia in the coal areas and stuff, when we stopped using coal and there was nothing planned for those coal miners and they just got lost. They just got lost. We have to plan for these people. For the first time, I heard J.P. Morgan Chase Jamie Dimon is already talking about, I couldn't believe it. He must have been listening to us, Joe. He's talking about taking a lot of his employees and moving them into different areas, using AI in the different parts where it's more productive, and then helping these people be able to do their jobs, whether it be in sales, dealing with people, doing things like that. And it seems to be, it's early, but it seems to be working, but at least he's thinking about it. Did you hear the president talking about any of that in the State of the Union last night? I didn't hear any of that, Joe. I hear about how inflation is under control. This is what people keep forgetting. This is what people keep forgetting. Either that or they ignore. Yeah, you got plenty of money. It doesn't matter. It may cost you for a couple people to go to lunch $40. You got the cash, you can do it. I'm not talking about you. You got the cash, you can do it. You got a lot of people doing pretty good who can do that kind of stuff. But when you got people who can hardly even afford that or afford a McDonald's, and you say to them, hey, inflation's going up 2.4% or 2.7%, what a big drop it's been. You're not helping these people because they're coming from a platform of they're already behind, they're already underneath. So if it went up another 2% on top of it, it makes it even harder for those people. And that's a major chunk of Americans right now who are trying to carry two jobs, who can't carry two jobs or can't find two jobs, can't pay for this food. We got food lines everywhere. We have utility prices through the roof. Gas seems to be okay, but what good does gas do you if you don't have a job to drive to? If you can't afford to drive to go to McDonald's, you need the stuff at home. You got the cop, you got all this. And so what is so great? Tell me, Joe, based on that alone, before we get into any of the other stuff, what is so great about the economy? Because I know you're going to tell me how great it is. Well, tell me, you're going to tell me. I'm telling you, Joe's going to tell you this. Get ready. The economy's great. The stock market's doing great. Well, the NASDAQ came back today, but people have been having NASDAQ and been getting smashed. And all of this. Remember, though, when Joe tells you this, there's two different people in America, two different classes of people. The people doing great are this class Joe's going to be talking about. There's a whole other class that are doing horribly, and he'll walk you through that also. But that's what we got to look out for, because when you have it that way and that much of a split, it's not Democrats versus Republican. It's us against them. Joe, it's yours. Go with it.
Yeah, I mean, income inequality has been going on for a long time. You might say it's escalated in the current administration, but the blame can't be put solely on Trump's feet. That when the Democrats were in there was still income inequality, and the gap kept getting wider. So, I mean, there's something structurally going on in our system that makes it more difficult for poorer people to get ahead. And when was the last time this country really addressed the middle class? I mean, that's the question. And it seems to me it really hasn't been addressed since after World War II. That's when GIs were returning from war, and they had all sorts of opportunities to go to college, to get down payments for a home.
The VA bill, the veteran bill, the GI
bill. I mean,
right.
and that created a wonderful middle class that really helped to fuel this country after World War II, where that's where the American century really took hold, if you will, with a strong middle class. And it helped the rich people. It helped everyone. And there was a rising tide that did lift all boats. Since then, there's been a tendency for richer people to get ahead. And the assumption is if rich people get ahead, that does raise the tide for everyone.
Trickles down.
It trickles down, that sort of thing. Now, the problem is if you don't have a boat and it's trickling down, it's not going to raise your boat. It's going to drown you.
Yeah, you need an umbrella.
Now, people are drowning. Right. They don't have a boat.
No.
They don't have a boat.
They need an umbrella, Joe.
An umbrella. The umbrellas are taken away. The boats are not there. Safety nets are not there. People are drowning. And I think that creates an awful lot of anger. Now, I think what's happened is that people who are hurting, who recognize that things are not right, what's happened is that two political parties have pit these group against each other. So it's the immigrants' fault that you're not getting ahead. or in the past it was minorities. There's always some scapegoat that they point to so that the people in the middle class, the people who are doing less well, right, don't band together. Because if they came together, if they band together, that would be such a huge voting block that it would vote out all these people who are just taking care of the small percent of people who are really rich.
That's why I was saying it's not Democrat and Republican, Joe. It's becoming us versus them. It's going to be those who have the money and those who don't. And you sit there and let's talk. You're talking billionaires. We have 100 some odd women billionaires, I heard. How many men billionaires do you have? They're all running around. You see what they did with Epstein. You saw what happened with Gates today. Bill Gates, who I thought he's out sleeping with the Russian babes. He had one chess person he slept with and another one. I mean, you watch these guys, they got so much money, but what are they really doing for the country? They have a foundation. They call it foundation. I don't know what it's a foundation of. If you watch Foundation on Apple TV, it ain't doing too good, Foundation. So just because these guys say that's falling apart there, these foundations here don't seem to be doing too much. And you sit back and you go, let's take the GI Bill, okay? Look at all these people who are or have been losing their jobs because of AI. This is the same type of situation. You're going to have all these new employees. You had all these guys, basically guys, there have been a lot of women, but basically the guys coming back from war after World War II, looking for jobs. The companies were getting worked up. They were all ready to make the move to grow and to be able to make some money. And it was all starting to happen. What's happening now? You have all these companies putting all this money into AI. They're getting ready to blow out with AI. How can they not now be taking these employees and saying, now I'm going to use you this way. I'm going to teach you this way. Quit getting nervous. Let's find good ways to be able to utilize the people to make it happen. We could do it. And it would make people, the problem is people, what are we telling people they can do to feel good? All we hear on TV is it's bad, it's this, you're nasty, it's the libtards, it's this, it's that, it's that, it's this. And nobody's like talking upbeat. Nobody's talking, yeah, it can really work. And if you start giving people jobs who are afraid they're going to lose their jobs and you go, yeah, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to help you. The way Jamie Dimon's talking, people will do better. The economy will do better. But if you're going to keep having compounding inflation and people saying it ain't happening, forget what you see, forget what your wallet's telling you, forget that you're behind on the mortgage or the credit card, then it's not going to work. I think that's, how can we live in this master of puppets? We've got a guy who can't break out of reality, break into reality. Tariffs, taxes.
But okay, I mean, let me say this.
Say it.
You can rail against what's happening, but what's the solution? And I'm not sure that there's very much we can do about it.
Talked about a major part of it, Joe. Talked about a major part of it. These corporations who are getting these great tax deductions, who are able to do all this stuff, should be told or work with them in some way. You are now not just going to lay these people off. You're going to find a way to utilize these people, or a great majority of them, so that when AI takes it this way, these people can go this way and have jobs and make it work.
What kind of jobs are you talking about? These are vapor jobs. There's no real jobs that are being created.
You're so wrong. How can you say that? When they had the printing press, there were no real jobs. When they had electricity, there were no real jobs. When they had cars, what were you going to do? Who used cars? Everybody used a saddle and a horse. I mean, things change, and they go along with the change to believe.
Joe, give me an example of new jobs that are going to be created. I can tell you a bunch of jobs that are going to be eliminated.
Of course, because we know it's going to be eliminated, but you have to look into the future, and you have to say, I think I see this. And based on what I think I see, the companies and whomever, I'm going to make this move this way. But there were plenty of jobs. People said, what jobs you get? We landed on the moon. There were plenty of jobs because of NASA and all the technology that came out of that. You had fax machines. Where did that lead? That led to this, the little phones. You got so much stuff going on. You have technology overhaul. You just have it. How about the internet? You couldn't do this before the internet. Think about it. So it's just, you can't call what's going to happen in the future. You try to do your best to call what's going to happen in the future. So instead of sitting there going, oh, it's horrible, and we don't know what we're doing, and it's the Dems and it's the Republicans, and it's this, you go, come on, companies. You want to lay these people off and you want these tax deductions, then you start working with these people and start telling them, this is where the new jobs are going to be. And we want you, at least most of them, to stay and work through so we can keep these people employed in good jobs and go to the next level instead of falling into the old West Virginia coal. You're out of a job. We have nothing for you to do. We'll give you welfare if you're lucky. I mean, it's horrible. These are Americans. So I think that's a major program. And you do something like the GI Bill. Major. Think of all the people you would affect. It'd be major, but nobody's thinking that way.
Well, people are thinking that way, but what they're coming up with is not new jobs. It's for people to have a guaranteed income.
That's not what Jamie Dimon is. I just used that example. Chase is our biggest bank. I said he watched us. I've been talking about this for how long, Joe?
So what jobs does he have for people?
He has been talking about, so far, they've hardly laid anybody off. They've been moving, because AI has been like taking care of certain areas. They've been moving people into more personnel type stuff, more dealing with the customer and all that. I haven't read it all, but he's talking about it. What I say is he's trying. That's what you do. So if the company's doing, why are you being a naysayer? I can't believe it.
I'm not trying to be a naysayer. I'm just trying to be realistic. That
realistic is you try to give.
You're basing it on hope that there will be some theoretical jobs.
What the hell's wrong with hope, Joe?
By AI. There's nothing wrong with hope, but it's not based on any facts. It's just based on a wish.
It's not wish. It's based on what you think. Let me ask you something. What do you know? What did you know? You know things, but if facts, you don't know. You know facts. Did you find something that had a major hand in stopping people from getting drunk?
Yes.
Yes. Was it a fact before you did it? No. You just knew that there was going to be a way that you could find to take care of the addiction problem and move on it. Everybody, I tell you, he's the greatest, okay? Bottom line. But you found it out before there were facts. And what you did was you took your belief based on facts you were dealing with at that time. I have to know that's what you did. That's what anybody of vision does. You took your belief and then you worked until you found more facts, and then kaboom, you're the man. That's what you got to do here. It's no different than what you did. It's no different.
Well, what's different is that the new technology is going to create entities, robots, that can do everything that humans can do.
Labor.
They're going to create AI that can think what humans can think.
Maybe, right? They haven't so far.
You know, there's an awful lot of mid-level jobs that can be easily taken over by the AI.
Correct. So you find the other jobs for people that can work with the AI and that can help the people do a better job and that aren't competition with the AI. I mean, it's always been this way with technology. Why am I holding those pens? That's old technology. That's Devo. It's you're learning from it. We just don't know. Did we know anything about the internet before it was the internet? When I was working on this thing with these guys, I kept talking about the internet being, when it was just happening, we had this software and it was I was working with these people. You had the software and it was a disk and you had to take it in. And then for the internet, when it first started, we had to go into these potential clients and they go, oh no, you can't get online. You can't do this. You can't do that. And you had to show them and then say, look, it's going to be like getting on and getting off. I used to call it like a beltway. You get on and you get off at exits and you come back on. That's kind of how I saw it then when it was happening. Rather caveman-like, but that's how I saw it then. But it made sense to me. And look what it's turned into. It's you just take it and you build and you build. But if you don't try and you just say, oh, AI is going to take everybody's job. you're telling people you're a loser. You might as well turn on the Beatles. I'm a loser and I'm not, right? Okay, they don't want me to sing anymore, so I stopped quickly. But the bottom line, good song, by the way. But the bottom line is, you say to me, how do we change? I'm saying this is how we try to do it. And the State of the Union should have talked about that. Should have talked about this is where we can go. Not just that, something like that. This is our dream, instead of saying, stand up for me, get up for me. If you don't stand, you're horrible. And this and that is just,
Well,
I'm telling you. Go ahead.
Trump doesn't really say a lot of things to anticipate, to look ahead, to anticipate what we need to do. He's very reactive, and that's how he's been his whole life, and that's what people elected. And the problem is that there's no one holding him accountable. And I agree that there are not people that are looking 2 steps ahead to see where we need to be.
We are. We are.
When I look 2 steps ahead when it comes to AI, I think that there is something fundamentally different about AI as opposed to other innovations that's not going to create more jobs. You believe it will, you have faith that it will, and it may very well do that. But right now, I don't hear anyone talking about what kind of new jobs are going to be created with AI. And again, sometimes you don't know until it happens. But right now, it's possible that there won't be new jobs created. And it certainly is the case today that if you're asking companies that are making money with AI to start training people for the next generation of jobs, we don't know what the next generation of jobs is. So I don't know what that training would look like.
Well, they have a pretty good idea. It's their company. They're buying the AI.
The people that I talk to who are really into AI are talking about cutting the workforce. That's just going to be a 20% reduction.
Do they own companies, the people you're talking to? Do they own companies?
The people who know AI.
I didn't ask you that. The people you're talking to, do they own companies?
They don't own the companies.
Good. The thing I learned when people were doing internets and stuff is you got your tech people over here and you got your business people over here. And they have totally different ways of looking at things. And the tech people who are great try to run everything because this is technology and it's up. And the owners, the business people, go, hold on, I'm not going to make money doing it that way. I'm not going to be able to pay you. So we have to learn how to do it this way. And in the end, it's the business people that make the decision, not the tech people. So, yeah, I'm hearing there are big companies that have been laying people off and stuff, but they're not sitting there thinking, instead of laying people off, what can I do to help keep them in a job that will help our company? That will help our company. They're not even thinking that way because everybody these days, Joe, is you, it's me, not you. Nobody gives a damn about anybody else anymore. So if they don't agree with you, they mouth you, they call you every name, and they're not trying to make things better. It's easier not to make things better. It's easier to yell from the peanut gallery. It's easier to yell from where the president stands. It's easier to yell, yeah, you killed Americans. He had a hand in it. Yeah, you're all whips. Yeah, come on. What are we talking about? Where are people? That's what we should have been talking about. What the future would have been. LBJ, not much of a speaker, but remember he did the State of the Union on the Civil Rights Acts and stuff. Beautiful. It was stuff you could actually remember, that we grew up believing this kind of stuff. And we have to be able to now take it and give it to the people who aren't there, those who always just got participation trophies, and say, you don't just get a participation trophy, you got to be there helping to lead so that everybody can participate. That's me, Joe. You always say I'm gloom and doom. Does that sound gloom and doom to you? No way.
It just, I don't know. The only jobs I see being created are hiring people to round up other people so you can deport them.
Well, you can do that too.
So I guess you could have jobs where you hire up one group of people to deport the other people. Then you can hire people to keep the people who are rounding up the other people to keep them in check. I suppose you can do that. Just
you do
play around with that all the time.
Well, you're very good. You saw that from the experience there. It helps them do that. I'm with it all the way. I understand you're right. But I don't think that's where it goes. That's just basic guerrilla warfare stuff.
That
We're
doesn't seem
talking
like it's
about,
creating any product of value.
of course it isn't in that situation. All it created was a product that killed 2 Americans. That's all it did. So they could talk about the others that they say they arrested, but they had to overhaul their most wanted thing online and take all these pictures down because they weren't most wanted, those people, or whatever the ones they said they took out. So you got that going on. But yeah, but you got to start believing it's going to take you somewhere. When they made the printing press, did anybody know that everybody would be reading books or reading anything? That was the printing press. And then it was controlled by the religions because only they could write, so that nobody else could write and nobody else could read. And then it started getting out of there. How about when people used whale oil? By the way, everybody, this is before Joe and my time, okay? So how about when they were using whale oil to light the lights and stuff? They couldn't see having electricity everywhere and the lights were on everywhere, or stuff like that, or being able to actually have, going to the bathroom inside, just running water and things. Who saw it? You just learn from it. And it gets better and better and better and better. But if you don't try, it doesn't work. Just like if you don't try to keep using solar energy, it's dumb. It's Devo to get rid of solar energy. Let me ask you, what are robots going to do about that, Joe? Maybe they can build some solar panels, but AI can help you make better solar panels, better batteries. I was talking about batteries 10 years ago on this show, on Just an American Citizen. It's all right there. This is what we've got to do. Look to the future. You start putting money in this stuff, it's rocking. On top of that, it's clean. But just think of the power you have by owning the sun. We're not even thinking that way. That's what a president does. That's what a president who's thinking as we go forward does.
I agree with you there that a good State of the Union should be forward-looking to talk about what our aspirations are,
right,
and map out a plan of how to get there. And we don't have that.
Right.
We don't have that right now.
We sure don't. It's like bumming me out. But that's what it is. So I get over it and I smile and I say, right, it's tremendous and we got no issues.
I'd be curious if there's anyone in the mosh pit that wants to make any comments. Did you enjoy the State of the Union? Did you stay up for it? Did you watch it? Or the reaction to it? Do people have any feelings about it? I don't know. It seems to me that if you walked in there and didn't have a high opinion of Trump to begin with, you didn't come out with a better opinion. And if you sort of liked him before that, you didn't come out hating him. So I'm not sure it moved the needle very much at all.
I don't think it changed anybody's mind. I don't think it was there either. You're going to think it was great theater or you think it was horrible. Not horrible, boring. I found it boring after all.
Mostly boring, yeah.
I mean, it's great. I'm happy for all these people. Happy for the hockey team. I mean, he sure didn't like the women's hockey team. He wasn't good to them, okay? Now he's saying they're coming in, but he got mad because they're out partying, said some jokes too bad. Like he doesn't have a mouth. So maybe he'll be nice to let a couple of those women come in. But it's after a while, you sit there, you go, okay, good, thanks. What else? What are you telling me you're going to do, Mr. President? And listen, Joe, get ready because we're going to war. He doesn't want to use the word. You keep shaking your head, smiling. We have disagreements on this also. I did many years ago something called the Spanish Armada, and I'd have that on Just an American Citizen. You go back and look at it. My concern is that we have in the Spanish Armada, the English boats were small and fast. They came in, they made moves, but the Spanish thought they couldn't be beaten, and they were beaten. I'm not saying we can be beaten, but we can be hurt, and we can have issues. And we're talking about going to war with Iran. Trump's not using the word war. Some people say it's going to be easy. How can it be easy? Some people say it's going to be, we should do it while they're just hanging on. I just don't know why we're getting involved in this, Joe. I don't know why the MAGAs are like saying right on, look, if we get lucky and it works out. But I'm telling you this, and I'm going to come back to this. Even though I don't think we should do it, if we do it, and I'm going to stick with what I said Sunday, and you disagreed with me, we better smash them and crash them. Try to take care of the people, but just smash them. Because if you give them a little here and a little there, they're going to come back with stuff. They're going to have missiles coming from somewhere, and they can hit our boats, kill our people, do whatever they can do. You want to go after them, you go after them, because their belief is they're going to Allah. They're happy to go to Allah, and life and death is better than life, at least in this situation. And fighting is better than surrender. You got to let them have what they want if you're going to do it. I want to say again, I don't think we should do it. But if you're going to do it, you got to go in and you can't fool around. You got to smash them, Joe. None of these little pinpricks, not hitting the nuclear here or there. You got to smash them. What do you say, Joe? I know you don't agree.
I don't know. How do you smash Iran? Do you smash the current government? Do you smash all the people? You're not going to be able to get rid of
look, I don't know Iran
It's
that well, but I know you go after the IRGC and smash the IRGC. You take out all the upper levels of government from the Khomeini down. Okay, or Khomeini. From Khomeini down was Khomeini, the first guy. You go after the troops. You try to leave the people, and you don't go after the schools, the universities. You don't go after where people basically live. You don't do that kind of stuff. You take them and you go out onto the ports and you take down their boats so they can't get them out there and try to shut down the Straits of Hormuz, because that's where there's going to be problems. You're asking me. I'm no military guy. I'm just saying, knowing what they know and with all the armaments they have, if you're going to do it, you gotta do it. A little pinprick ain't gonna do nothing except let them have a second shot at us. We shouldn't do it in the first place, I don't think. But if we do it, I keep coming back to that, so there's no question. But if we do it, we gotta do it.
I don't think there's any way to do it. That even if you wipe out the whole IRG or whatever, RGC, you're still going to upset enough people that they're going to hate America, and then the next generation of terrorists will be born. We've tried this experiment many times, and it's always turned out the same way. It's like trying to, I don't know, did you ever live in an apartment that had roaches? You couldn't get rid of the roaches just by stomping on them. You had to get at the source so they wouldn't reproduce anymore. And then you wipe out that last generation, and then you're okay. And that's not what we're doing. When you bomb a country, when you attack a country, you're just creating eggs for the next generation to be born. We need to create a scenario where there's not going to be another generation, where you're right. The idea of dying for Allah isn't their primary goal. They want to be like Americans and watch, K-pop, listen to K-pop. They want to watch American movies. They want the same stuff that most teenagers want, and create that kind of environment. And then it will take care of the cockroaches. You have to get rid of what's nourishing the cockroaches.
Did you have to deal with cockroaches? You were asking me.
In medical school, I had cockroaches. You couldn't do it by just killing the cockroaches. You had to get rid of the food so they couldn't reproduce.
Well, I made it clear, Joe, I don't think we should do it. I'm not getting off of that issue. My position is, if we do it, then
the way to do it, though, is not
the bomb, and you got to bomb the cockroaches, right?
No, you don't bomb the cockroaches. You get rid of the food, and the cockroaches will go away.
You get rid of the food, you get everybody out of the building, and you bomb the cockroaches. And then you open the windows and hope everybody can get back in there. But you got to I'm just saying, you got to overwhelm them, and cockroaches are incredible.
You can't have the cereal box open where they can get in there and procreate.
But I agree. I'm agreeing with you.
But the bombing creates this open cereal boxes. That's the point.
The box is already open. The question is,
we have to get rid of the open boxes. We have to get rid of the fuel for why they want to.
How do you get rid of it? I'm not disagreeing. How do you get rid of the fuel?
Not with hate, not with war, not with death.
Don't give me death. I'm not saying death. I'm not saying do it. I'm saying if we do it, we got to smash them. But I'm saying as a predicate, don't do it. So I'm asking you, you're saying to me, hey, here it is. We got to get rid of it. How are you going to get rid of the cockroaches? I'm asking you.
You remove what fuels them, what feeds
Which
them.
is, go ahead.
Hate, anger.
Okay, how do you remove the fuel of hate and anger from a religious, a super religious group?
You want to know how?
Yeah.
The Iranian people, the ones that I've talked to.
I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about those who
I'm talking
run the
about
place,
the people.
who are loons.
I'm talking about the people. The vast majority of the country, I believe, just has the same needs and goals as other human beings.
Of course.
And so you create through attraction that here's why it's a good idea.
How do you do that?
Support
How do you
radical
attract? How do you
religious
attract
views.
them? How do you attract them?
You give them free internet. You give
Who's
them
going to give? Wait, so who's going to give it to them?
free internet.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you do it?
Who's going to give it to them?
You flood the area with cell phones.
The government
something like
said
that.
no.
You don't give the administration over there, the Ayatollahs, reason to hate.
They shut down the internet.
Oh.
This Ayatollah shut it down, and we have shut down the Voice of America. Dumb Christie, whatever her name is, dumb Trump once again. No more Farsi or anything, hardly any Farsi information going over. Farsi is the language of those in Iran. But yes, I love what you're saying, but you're not giving me what we can do. I mean, I agree. Most of the people there don't want to live a pretty good life.
The basic principle is you find out what the Ayatollah needs, okay?
He's religious.
And you make a deal with them.
They've tried. All he wants is Sharia and God and Allah. That's all he does.
I'm sure what he wants, after you get past all the rhetoric and bullshit, he wants to be able to feed his people a little bit.
No, he doesn't. He couldn't care less. He was hanging them. He was when women were taking the whatever covering, their hair covering off. He was hanging them. He was hanging people. He just took out 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people who were all objecting in the streets. He cares about people. Are you kidding me? That's an 86-year-old sicko.
Well, if you wait a few years, you won't have to worry about him anymore. Create the next generation of people who doesn't hate America.
How are you going to create it?
Well, the basic principle is through love, not through hate.
And how are you going to show them love?
What do they need?
Are you going to fly over and hug them and tell them you love them?
And give them food.
They have
give them sustenance. Give them what they need, so that they're not
water. They need water because they, like dummies, got rid of the dams and did other things to take care of political issues.
So you give them water. You give them.
How are you going to give
them
water?
Support.
Where are you going to get water?
Where am I going to get water?
Yeah, where they don't have it. They destroyed everything, so they don't have water. The dummies, okay?
No, because of the religious water over there.
Because they're run by religious zealots. Unless you get rid of the religious zealots.
The religious zealots won't, if they don't have anyone backing them, they won't have any power.
They got all the power. They got the guns.
They got the guns.
Right.
But you have the people that counters the guns.
They got no guns. That's why they're all getting killed. That's
not all of them.
That's why they're getting slaughtered, Joe. They're slaughtering them.
Well, that's going to create a backlash for the people in charge then.
No, it didn't. It made everybody stop objecting and protesting.
Well, you support the protesters.
Who supports the protesters?
We could support the protesters.
How are we going to do that? By bombing.
Ask them what they need. What do they need?
Them. They said, we need you to bomb them and get rid of the government force.
I didn't hear that.
You weren't listening.
I didn't hear that.
You were listening.
I think what they need is support, and not somebody who's going to go in there and bomb the government, then put in another government to replace the old government. It's just as bad. What we did in Venezuela. Did we
Venezuela,
put
we
in
left the mafia in
the
charge.
regularly elected person in there? No, we just
We left the mafia in charge there.
right.
It ain't that easy to leave the mafia in charge of Iran where they just kill people. Who are we talking to there? We had this chick all lined up. This is different.
Well, we're not showing they were a very trustworthy ally in this situation.
We're not allying with Iran. Who are you talking about?
Allying with the people who want to overthrow the government.
Right, because we're not bombing.
I don't know if that's what they need.
They need us to stay out of it. But if we don't stay out of it, we gotta smash them.
They probably need, like all people, and to use a music term, butter, guns, and lawyers. That's
lawyers, guns, and money.
Lawyers, guns, and money. That's what they need. Stuff like that.
Lawyers just die over there. They get shot. The guns are owned by the
guns.
The guns are owned by the government, and the money is owned. Whatever money is left is owned by the government because they run the oil. I love you. My problem is this: either we stay out of it or we destroy.
Probably the best thing is to just stay out of it and let it take its course. That's what
you and I agree.
But if we were going to get involved, the way to get involved is not by creating more hate and the next generation of zealots. That would be the worst thing to do. Warren Zevon, exactly right. Lawyers, guns, and butter.
Reach out and touch. I've just been listening to you and just thinking the right song. This is your song. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place.
There you go.
If you can.
Something
so
like
this is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting. We're sending out an invitation to the old man.
Yeah.
Joe wants to reach out and touch and show him love and thinks that by showing him love, he will show love to his people.
Do you understand what motivates the guy? Your thesis is he's motivated by death.
That's
and
right.
I would say if he was so motivated by the death, how come he's still alive 85 years later?
Because he's letting everybody else die for him.
Well, exactly. So he's not motivated by death. Maybe other people's death, not his death.
Well, he's not.
He doesn't seem that anxious to meet his maker to me.
Yeah, but he's not surrendering.
Exactly. Well, he's not that anxious to meet his maker by his
he's
own
old
behavior.
because he thinks he's talking to the maker.
He may exactly. So he just soon be on the planet right now.
I don't know if he'd rather be on the planet. I don't think so.
I'm interested in a mosh pit for helping me out here. How do we deal with this situation?
You know something, Joe? I'm not getting the mosh pit must have just started for me.
This conversation is very sus. I don't disagree with you. It's, I don't know how to deal with the Middle East. No one has for the past couple thousand years. But the way to do it is not the same way we've been doing it, which is getting pissed off and having wars.
Who's arguing with you?
You want to go in there and kick some butt.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
You are ignoring what I have said.
You said either stay out or if you're going to go in, smash them.
Right. Wait. So that's two separate issues. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Either we stay out.
Which we agree.
Which I think we should do.
That's plan A.
Okay.
That's we agree on that.
So that's the plan.
Yes.
If we go in, we should smash them. No little pitter patter. No little, oh, I hit the nuclear. They don't know what they're hitting.
So that's where we disagree. That's where we disagree on the smash.
Because if you don't, you're letting them keep their weapons to use against our people.
There's no way to completely get rid of all the cockroaches in the house by just
get rid of all the cockroaches. If you can get the cockroaches to scatter and other people come in and take over the house, it can work.
And so long as there's open cereal boxes, the cockroaches will be back that
But you're missing it. I don't care about the cockroaches. All I care about are the Americans. Listen to me, Volps. I love you. I hope
if you want to save Americans, you don't have them there in the first place.
I said that, but they're there. So I'm saying if we go in, big if, IF.
Okay.
If we go in, we should not pitter patter. We should smash. Because if we just hit them a little bit and say, God, I hope they get the message, and they start shooting their missiles back at our people, we are now then in danger and vulnerable. You're going to go in, you go in and you take them out. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying don't go in. I don't want to go in. I'm bummed we have this flotilla down there. I'm bummed about all of it. But if we're going to go in, you got to take them out.
If it was possible. I don't see where it's possible.
Then you don't want to go in, but I agree.
So, I mean, when has someone taken out another country?
I don't think it'd be hard to get Khamenei and the other leaders. I got to figure
So
they
you're
know where
talking
they
about
are.
regime change.
They know where that's what they know where they are. Why would you leave them there?
Okay, so you want to do regime change?
No, I want to smash them. If I don't want it to go in, you see, somebody can take that out of context.
What does smash them mean?
We
what
don't,
does smash them mean?
Wait a second, we don't go in. I don't want us to go in and do it. I want to make sure that's clear again. But they're talking about going in and doing a couple pinprick hits. If you do a couple pinprick hits, you hit whatever you think the nuclear is, you hit maybe this or that, you're opening yourself up to be really vulnerable for them to be able to hit you back. But if you're going in there and you're saying, I'm not pinpricking you, I'm coming after you, and I'm going to leave it smashed. I'm going to smash everything.
What does smash mean? You take away their ability to retaliate?
As much as possible.
What's that?
As much as possible.
So, and you think you'll do it 100%?
I think that you have a much better chance getting most of it by if you're going to do it by going in and just launching rather than just doing a little and hoping they go, oh, wow, I give. It won't work that way because they're not giving now.
Well, so you think you can wipe out, 80% of their ability to retaliate? I
think that if we're going to hit them, you can't change the questions on me.
I mean, I still don't understand what your endpoint is. By hitting them, what does that mean?
I'm not worried about an endpoint, Joe. I'm saying the endpoint is I don't want us going in there. Forget everything else.
Well, then then why do we even have a plan B? There shouldn't even be a plan B of hitting them hard.
I'm saying Trump, I think, is going to do it. It's not our decision. So if Trump does it, then he should go in and leave nothing. I mean, you must take care of the people and all that kind of stuff. But and whatever you get, IRGC, take out as much of their Navy, take out as much as their missiles, destroy the Air Force, go for all the nuclear, and just do it. And don't fool around and say, I'm going to do it. And if you don't like it, I'm going to come back and do more later. It doesn't work that way. That's what I'm saying. I'm not looking for an endpoint. I'm saying if we do it, we got to do it. But I don't think you're making me kind of keep saying it, but like you're not picking it up. I don't think we should do it. But if we're going to do it, what are you going to do? Just say, yeah, I'll drop a couple missiles here. And then they start shooting them back at us. Then what do you do? What do you do then, Joe? You have to hit them back again.
Well, then you always have the option of hitting them hard.
Now you're going.
If the pitter patter doesn't work, then you hit them hard. That's
pitter patter doesn't work because it leaves our people vulnerable.
If you hit them hard without the pitter patter, then you don't know if you could have possibly stopped it with the pitter patter.
But you know that you probably did by smashing them.
It's just like we smashed them when we dropped all those big bombs.
That was
knocked out all their nuclear capacity. Didn't I hear the administration say that we've knocked out their ability to manufacture any bombs?
I agree. Trump said that he.
Then a couple months later, we have to do it again. That makes
sense. I agree. You think like I agree, Joe. I 100% agree. But all of a sudden now we got to go back in because he just wants to do it. This man's seeing things. And he's just a loon over it. And it's what it is. And I'm just saying, if he is going to do it, not me, Mark, not you, Joe, but if Trump does it, then he better just do it right and destroy as much as he can destroy so he can leave our troops less vulnerable. We got troops in Iraq. We got them here in Syria. We got them outside of Israel in certain areas. Who knows if we even have any in Israel? We got them all out in the ships. We're everywhere. We have friends also in Saudi Arabia and stuff. We don't want those. We don't want those guys in. So we got to do it. If we're going to do it, we got to do whatever it takes. And we're going to do it, Joe. Let me note something to you. That's also part of the old Are We Devo? We are Devo. Are we not men? We are Devo. Let me tell you something. I've had it with this. So we're going to keep going with a theme we've had this last 2 albums of the week. We're going to the 3rd album that this man put out. 3 of the greatest albums of all time. 3 albums for any group to be able to put out 3 albums like this is just meteoric. It's like the explosion of the sun. Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland. Okay? Electric Ladyland. We started with Are You Experienced, right? Then we did Axis. Now we're here in this album, Joe, a double album. Chris Chandler, Jimmy. I bow to Jimmy. Jimmy, look at all these people on here. Look at all this. Chris Chandler, who was his manager, left. He was a bass player for the Animals. Left the Animals. The Animals were great, by the way, great music. Helped make him big time in Britain, brought him back here. He got bummed because everybody was partying all through this album. But a personal thing. So many times I told you about how I saw Hendrix in concerts. It was my 3rd concert with Cat Mother, the all-night newsboy. I came back after that concert and listened to this. My ears were ringing so loud. I cranked it. Ain't much cranking for my stereo back then. And my mother was banging because it was loud. Turn that shit off. And I said, I can't even hear it, Mom. Turn it off. What a concert. In this album, they had guys like Buddy Miles on drums. Chris Wood from Traffic playing the flute. Stevie Winwood, Traffic. We all know Stevie Winwood. Blind Faith. Jack Cassidy on bass. Jefferson Airplane. Al Cooper, the blues man on A Long Hot Summer Night. And all these other guys. Look at this. Some incredible. This is the album, guys, that Joe didn't realize all along the Watchtower was Bob Dylan. That's off of this album, okay? Another great album song off of here, Crosstown Traffic, Rainy Day, Dream Away. Oh, Still Raining, Still Burning, Gypsy Eyes. I love Burning of the Midnight Lamp. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, all I can tell you is this. Get the first 3 Hendrix albums, Are You the Experience albums. Turn them on. The technology was just starting to happen. This guy could just make sounds coming out of his head. You could sing with the guitar. It took you over. You just would see things. You'd hear things. He said it, baby. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Jimmy, I love you. Hendrix, the first 3 albums. This is rock. This was the turn from the British invasion to Monterey, the greatest of all the concerts of those. And I didn't hear Pink Floyd at any of them.
Which is a shame, but so whatever happened to Jimi Hendrix after that album?
He died. Oh, after this album, he had a couple other albums. Well, the albums came out later, but he died.
He died
like a year later.
He kissed the sky, all right.
It was like a year. Let's see. He died. This album, I think, was 1969. So I think he died, in 71. He, Janis, Jim Morrison, the greats. Just the meteor went through and went. And just all the meteor stuff came down and populated the rest of the world. When Janis was the first woman just getting out. I mean, you had Grace Slick, but Janis was just balls forward. I mean, Janis, all you have to hear is Big Brother behind him opening up with a Piece of My Heart, and just hear that guitar. You just didn't hear that stuff blowing out of the radio. And then you have this guy going crazy. I loved it. Listen, this is real music. This has great stuff. You'll find yourself singing. You'll find yourself drumming. You'll find yourself smiling like my man there who never listened to this music because he was too busy getting A's in school.
No, come on. I listen to Jimi Hendrix.
What were you? What?
I listen to Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, let me see your Hendrix albums.
It's downstairs with all my other albums. Downstairs. My big box albums is downstairs.
I love it. Just get it. First 3 albums, okay? Are You Experience, Access, and then Electric Ladyland. And you all know Electric Ladyland Studios is still open in New York. He opened Electric Ladyland Studios. I was in there once. I just felt Jimmy. I just felt him. I felt him. We're going backwards, baby. It's Devo. Are we not men? We are Devo. Joe, before we go, we're going to Friday. We're going to see everybody Sunday. You got anything else to say, Mr. Joe? Dr. Joe? We had a good one today. I loved it. He was smiling. We're rocking. At the beginning, I want you all to know, he'll tell you the real, but if he says, trust me, PB, those words he says, trust me, PB, don't do it. It's a setup, and it'll stay with you.
We just had to redact the innocent people. That's all.
Redact. They didn't redact back then. All I can tell you is this. For 55 years, it's really been 53 years of this. This has lived like a stain on my soul. And he's trust me, PB. Trust me, PB. 53 years ago, and
the whole story then.
And I did.
Don't leave him with that.
The biggest mistake I made, trusting this guy. Oh, okay. It's a ball of confusion, isn't it? If you're square, we ain't there. We're going to see you all Sunday at 11. Thank you so very much for coming on. It's been great. We love it. Yeah, Warren Zevon is the man. Spartacus, love you. Love everybody else. Joe, and that's the way it is.
Period.
See you all Sunday at 11. Thank you very much.